to what extent is he a champion of the left or the right? Well, I'm not particularly convinced that maybe the left or the right, those terms, have huge descriptive power because their content has varied so significantly across time and tends to vary quite a bit from one political theatre to another. So they're quite variable. However, Orwell liked to conceive of himself as a figure on the left, and his grounds for doing so, I presume, were he was firmly committed to equality and believed that socialism was the best way of instantiating that principle. However, he was a passionate advocate of freedom. And not only that, I think he was a defender of a very negative conception of freedom at times. In other words, he saw freedom as the freedom to be left alone and not interfered with. And this could make him speak of the nightmare of state interference. A nightmare, you might say, that's traced out in fairly lurid terms in his famous novel, 1984. And I think people on the right could look at that novel and get a lot that might confirm their own intuitions against a command economy on the one hand and a centralized state on the other. So in that respect, he lends himself to the left and the right. Orwell always conceived of himself as, to put it, an old socialist, i.e. somebody who believes in liberty, equality and solidarity. But I think he increasingly struggled to see how those values could be properly institutionalized in political life. And I think this predicament in its own right gives succor to both left and right-wing interpreters.